I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times. It's Thursday, March the 10th. News from Arkansas today. A federal judge today refused Mike Maggio's request to withdraw a guilty plea in the federal charge to which he pleaded guilty that he'd accepted a bribe to reduce a verdict in a nursing home negligence case. The judge refused Maggio's complaint that the law didn't fit what he'd done, said that he was fully informed of it, and said the governor made a factual presentation based on Maggio's own words that the crime was committed as alleged. Maggio will appeal, of course, but the case moves forward. At the State Board of Education today, both the Pulaski County and the West Helena districts were moved from the physical distress category. That means both of them, after some 5 years out in the wilderness, can now again have school boards and have elections. State Education Commissioner Johnny Key said that could happen by the end of this year. The meeting included a remarkable series of events. The State Board approved a number of requests by West Helena to be released from rules that apply to school districts on staffing, courses, certification of teachers, those sorts of things. This came under a state law that was passed in 2015 that said school districts with competing charter schools could receive waivers from rules just as charter schools do. West Helena has the KIPP school within its school district. Jay Barth was among several education board members who questioned some of these waivers. He said every school district in Arkansas, for example, has competition from virtual charter schools, online charter schools. Can they all ask for waivers? The state doesn't have this rulemaking authority. It's moved into uncharted territory. What it effectively seems to mean is that you have an education board majority, the appointees of Governor Asa Hutchinson particularly, who are ready to unhinge school districts and just let them operate however without rules. I don't think it's a step in the right direction for quality education, but we'll see about that as the years roll along. This afternoon, the state board is going to consider whether to accept or to study further expansion of 2 charter schools in Little Rock School District. It's met tremendous resistance from the school district because these 2 schools that want to expand are wider, higher income, have far fewer special ed and non-English speaking students. They are advantaged in every possible way, and their ability to grow will only damage Little Rock School District further. There was a very important decision to the state Supreme Court today as it pertains to property settlements and divorce cases. The Supreme Court majority, without being asked, on its own hook, said that it was going to overturn 3 decades of precedent and say that the statute says what they believe the statute says, that property of a spouse that they brought into a marriage cannot be considered marital property and thus divided equally after a divorce. In the past, where a spouse increased the value of a property that was held before marriage, some of the increase could be divided as marital property. The court said no more. There was a strong dissent on this from Justice Howard Brill, who said that there was not a justification from departing from past precedent. And the ruling was made by a Supreme Court majority that included 2 appointed justices appointed by the governor, so you didn't really have the regular Supreme Court that made this fairly remarkable decision. Governor Asa Hutchinson is continuing his budget presentations. The latest news today is that he's going to cut the state health department by some 106 jobs. This is so that he can pay for tax cuts and pay for highways. He's using Obamacare money as it is to meet the state budget. We don't yet know what areas of the state health department will be cut because of this. I'm suspecting that they won't have robust spending for things like family planning services at the health department. Sad news today, the popular and able general manager of KUAR, KLRE, the public radio station in Little Rock, Ben Fry, died last night in his sleep of a heart attack. He was only 54. Interesting report today shows that the football salary payroll at the University of Arkansas has now reached almost $8 million. This came with some pay raises to $300,000 each for a trio of assistant coaches. I've suggested we have an exercise that compare the football payroll at $8 million a year with all the individual academic departments of the university. Poetry, French, German, English literature, those sorts of things. It might be an interesting exercise. And there was presidential debate news from last night. Univision's debate has been viewed by the pundits as a win for Bernie Sanders. He seems to be continuing to push Hillary Clinton toward the left. She resists a little bit to preserve some general election viability, and in the process looks slightly flustered at Bernie Sanders' challenge. She faces perhaps trouble next week in Ohio and Florida. Those could be decisive in the shape of the Democratic nomination process. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.
You feel it in your heart. The spirit of Little Rock. We've had that spirit since 1927, helping build our city by producing decades of leaders in the heart of our state. We are the heart of business and innovation, the heart of politics and government, the heart of arts and culture. And in our city, beats the heart of a Trojan. UALR, we are Little Rock's team and Little Rock's University.